in order to put an end to all these things going on, let us find the truth. Let us investigate the altar. Let us find out what is buried in the altar. The elders can do it, except the elders are benefiting from the pastor. No, if elders are benefiting from the pastor, of course, they wouldn't want the public or the other church members to know the truth.
But apart from somebody there is something, there's a blogger that found something on the ground. This man was begging, called me, said, what do I give to this blogger to close his mouth? The DSS should go and open that altar.
There was an allegation that Pastor Chris Okafor buried something in the altar, which the DSS were called upon to go and investigate the altar to ascertain whether the allegation was true or not. We have not seen the DSS going to investigate the altar to find out whether what was said was true or not. All right. Since it's an allegation, and I believe that the police, the security agencies, and so on and so forth, they must have heard of this allegation because this thing is going viral. It's all over social media. It's all over the internet, and they must have come across this video. Now, my question is, why hasn't the security services, the DSS that were called upon, why haven't they gone to investigate the altar? All right, because this is a serious allegation. All right, this is a very serious allegation, not something that should be played with. All right, this lady that made this allegation, I think based on her past 7 years relationship with Pastor Chris Okafor, she is not just alleging. I think there's a truth in what she was saying. There's truth in her allegation. So in order to clear the air, the police, the DSS, or whoever they are should go and investigate the altar to verify whether it is true or not, because people are attending this church. People are going there for worship, and the lives of these people in that church, they are at stake. All right, so this had to be verified so that if it's true or not, the public and the church members will have to know whether the allegation is false or is true. All right, now one thing I want to point out here also is even the members of these churches. I will not believe that the members of these churches have not heard of the allegation. They must have heard of this allegation that the altar of the church needs to be investigated. They must have heard of it. Now, if you have not heard of it, I'm going to play the video for you to see it, and then I will come back again and continue to say what I want to say. So kindly watch the video where this lady that had relationship with this same pastor for 7 years or thereabout coming to saying that this altar needs to be investigated because of what was buried in the altar. And of course, what was buried in the altar based on our allegation, I think is something that the public wouldn't want to see or hear. Kindly watch it and I'll be back.
DSS, they should go to that church and open that altar. Open his altar. I won't say further than that. When they were building that place collapsed. Somebody died. But apart from somebody there's something, there's a blogger that found something on the ground. This man was begging, called me, said, what do I give to this blogger to close his mouth? The DSS should go and open that altar. I know what I'm saying. That's all I will say.
The church altar.
The church altar where he used to stand, that pulpit, they should dig it up and open it.
Now, welcome back. Okay, you have listened to this allegation that the church, the altar need to be investigated by the DSS. Now, investigating the altar by the DSS is one thing. Now, what about the members of this church? What are they doing about it now? Because this is a serious allegation. It's a serious allegation. All right, not something that they should take lightly, because it's your pastor, your spiritual head. It's somebody that you submit to spiritually. He's your spiritual leader. So as a member of this church, all right, what are you doing to find out whether the allegation of Chris Ogala, of Doris Ogala is true or not? What are you doing? Do you believe everything your pastor says, hook, line, and sinker? Don't you try to verify many of the things he says, whether it is true or not? Of course, you will come back to debunk all that Doris Ogala said, but you, as a member of the church, what are you doing to find out the truth? Do you really know your pastor? Do you know him? Many of us don't know our pastors. You don't know your pastors. You just go to church every Sunday. What your pastor does, you do not know. All right. So you members of Pastor Chris's church, what are you doing? What are you doing to find out the truth, to ascertain the truth? Don't just believe what your pastor says. And I think that what you should do, all of you, I want to believe that your church, this church has elders. All right. Any church that does not have elders, and even if the church have elders, they should do what elders are supposed to do. The elders are there to advise the pastor, because a pastor doesn't know everything. But the elders, based on their years of experience, in spiritual matters in the church, they should be able to advise the pastor if he goes astray. Nobody's perfect, of course. The pastor is not perfect, but when he goes astray, the elders are there to advise him, to counsel him on the right thing to do. Now, let's assume that this church have elders. What the elders are supposed to do is to call the pastor and say, this allegation is a serious and strong allegation. Let us, in order to put an end to all these things going on, let us find the truth. Let us investigate the altar. Let us find out what is buried in the altar. The elders can do it, except the elders are benefiting from the pastor. No, if elders are benefiting from the pastor, of course, they wouldn't want the public or the other church members to know the truth. And let's just assume that the elders are benefiting from the pastors and they're not ready to do anything about it. What about the whole church members? What are you doing to find out the truth? Because this is not an allegation that we should sweep under the rug or under the carpet. It is an allegation that can affect you as a member of that church spiritually. All right, so what you should do, all the members of the church, you can come together, all members and elders, if possible, come together and say, Pastor Chris, you have been a pastor all this while, and this allegation is a strong allegation. We want to ascertain the truth. All right, we are ready, all right, to finance the destruction and the rebuilding of the altar. Don't worry about the cost. You can come together and say, okay, we are going to destroy the altar. We are going to check what is under the altar. Put all your resources together to find out what is there, and after finding out whether it is true or not, you tell your pastor you are going to rebuild the altar with your own finance, not with the finance of the pastor, because you want to find out the truth. This is a strong allegation. You members of this church, Pastor Chris Okafor's church, what are you doing? Do you care about your spiritual state? Do you care about your spiritual life? This is an allegation you should not sweep away. It's an allegation that is serious and could affect you spiritually. If there's something buried in that altar, it's going to affect you members of this church spiritually. Alright? The thing buried under the altar, of course, it will not be of God. It will be of the devil, and if it's of the devil, what is buried on the altar will be like controlling you people, members of this church. It's like a spell controlling your minds that you will not be able to think rightly. Even when your pastor is doing wrong, you will just stick to him, believe everything he says, hook, line and sinker. All of you in that church will be coming to church like there's a spell on every one of you. So your eyes need to be open. You members of this church, come together as one to find out the truth for yourself. Don't believe everything your pastor says. Before he comes to the altar, he must have rehearsed everything he wants to say, just to cover his own side, for his own covering. Everything he says to protect himself. As members of this church or members of any church, do not believe what your pastor is saying. Try to investigate to find out the truth for yourself. So, beloved members of Pastor Chris's church, what you can do is go gather yourself together and go and find out what is under the altar yourself. Destroy the altar, rebuild it for him. You can do it. It is for your own spiritual security. It is for your own life. And I want to believe that this video will get to you and you will do the needful. If you sweep everything under the carpet, you don't know, you don't try to investigate and so on and so forth, at the end of the day, if there's really something under the altar, buried under the altar, it's going to affect you negative, because it's going to affect your spiritual life. Except if you do not care about your spiritual life. The community these days, many of us will go to church just because of what we want to get. Alright, if you care about your spiritual life, please, members of this church, come together. The elders and every members come together, pull your resources together to investigate the altar. tell Pastor Chris, tell your pastor, we want to find out what is in the altar. You shouldn't worry. If you destroy it and find out what is on the altar, you are going to rebuild it again, even more than it was before. Do this because of your spiritual life. All right, so it is said that the word is enough for a while. So this has been bothering me, that all this allegation and everything has been going on, but you members of these churches, you have not done anything to find out the truth. I don't know whether you are doing something behind the scenes to find out the truth. If you are not doing anything about it to find out the truth, it is not good at all. Find out the truth yourself. Don't just listen to what your pastor is saying or what Doris Ogala is saying or what other people are saying. Go and investigate and find out the truth for yourself. And may God bless you as you do that in the name of Jesus. Thank you very much. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, please kindly do so. And subsequently, I'll be uploading more videos on this to keep you abreast with what is happening. And you'll be notified immediately it is uploaded. Thank you very much, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye.